Hey besties, welcome back to the channel. Before we even start, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment because it helps me out so much and helps the video reach more people. And if you're watching on mobile, you can actually hype my video, which helps the algorithm so much. Swipe left on the little comment preview carousel or tap the three dots and you should see the hype option pop up. Then just tap hype. It takes like 2 seconds and helps me more than you know. Okay, now let's get into this because today we are talking about KiiKiii and their mini album DELULU PACK. Honestly, I have a lot of thoughts, a lot of feelings, and a lot of opinions. So get comfy, get a snack, and let's talk about it from start to finish because I want to break down every single track, give my honest ratings, and also talk about the overall vibe of this comeback. I feel like KiiKiii are doing something really interesting right now, especially in 5th gen K-pop, where a lot of music can feel very safe, very copy-paste, very same. But KiiKiii are kind of doing their own thing, and whether you love it or hate it, you cannot deny they have a vision. Honestly, I respect that so much because music should feel like something, and this album definitely has a feeling. It's very chill, dreamy, experimental, and honestly kind of reflective in a weird way. It's not screaming for your attention, but once you sit with it, you start noticing all the little details and textures and choices they made. I think that's why this mini album works for me, even when I don't love every single song equally. So, let's start with track 1, DELULU, which I gave a 7 out of 10. Listen, okay, I like this song. It's chill, it's cute, and it sets the tone, but I don't think it should have been a pre-release. This whole mini album is already very chill and dreamy, so releasing a super chill track before the album didn't really build hype in my opinion. When you do a pre-release, you usually want something that grabs attention and makes people curious, something that makes non-fans want to check out the full project, but DELULU feels more like a vibe track that makes sense once you hear the whole album. It's not really a standalone moment that screams, "Hey everyone, pay attention!" I still enjoyed it, but I was confused by the strategy because the title track clearly has more energy and feels more like the main event. As an intro to the album though, it works. It has this playful but thoughtful tone, and I like how it kind of reframes the word DELULU in a more serious way. Believing in a version of yourself that doesn't exist yet is kind of powerful when you think about it. So yeah, solid start, just not the best choice for a pre-release in my opinion. Moving on to track 2, 404 New Era, which I gave a 9 out of 10 because wow, I was excited when I heard the snippet and the full song did not disappoint me at all. I love the music video, the vibe was fresh, and honestly, KiiKiii really remind me of NewJeans. Not necessarily because they sound the same, but because of the feeling and the marketing and the way everything feels intentional. Their concept photos, their visuals, their sounds, their storytelling. It feels fresh for 5th gen the same way NewJeans felt fresh for 4th gen. I love that they were not afraid to experiment because experimental music feels like a lost art right now, especially when companies play it safe. This track has such a strong dance vibe with house influences and spoken word sections that feel confident and different. Even though it doesn't have a super traditional big chorus, I still found myself hooked by the groove, the energy, and the attitude. It feels like stepping into a new chapter, which matches the title perfectly. I love when concept and sound actually match because that makes the whole experience more immersive and memorable. Honestly, this is my favorite song on the album because it feels like KiiKiii fully stepping into their identity and saying, "This is who we are now," and I respect that so much. Next up is Underdogs, which I also gave a 9 out of 10 because I love it. Like, genuinely love it. The energy is amazing, the vocals feel emotional but still strong, and the production has this elastic, almost bouncy rhythm that keeps things interesting. The song feels ambitious without feeling messy, and I think that balance is really hard to achieve. But they pulled it off. The pre-chorus gives you space to breathe, and then the chorus hits with this feeling of determination and unity. I love songs that make you feel like you're part of something bigger. Like you're rooting for yourself and your dreams. Honestly, this might be one of the most replayable tracks on the album for me because it has emotional depth, but it's still fun to listen to. It shows that KiiKiii can balance texture, melody, and storytelling in a way that feels natural and not forced. Now, let's talk about Mongyang, which I gave a 6.5 out of 10. Yes, I know. Get your 6-7 jokes out now because it was really hard to decide between a 6 and a 7, so I settled in the middle. I like the song, but it's not something I see myself going back to a lot. It's not bad at all. It has a nice vibe and some interesting moments, but compared to the other tracks, it just didn't stand out to me as much. Sometimes that happens in mini albums where 1 or 2 songs feel more like filler or just don't connect with you personally, and that's okay because music is subjective. This one just didn't leave a strong impression on me, even though I appreciate the effort and creativity that went into it. Next, we have Dizzy, which I gave an 8 out of 10, and honestly, this song surprised me. It's a bit slower than some of the other tracks, but it still had me moving and vibing the whole time. The vocals were really strong and emotional, and I loved how the production built layers slowly instead of hitting you all at once. It's the kind of song that grows on you with each listen, and I appreciate that because not every song needs to be loud or intense to be engaging. Sometimes subtlety is power, and Dizzy proves that by creating a mood that pulls you in and keeps you there. Finally, we have From Me to Me, which I gave a 6 out of 10 because it feels like a typical K-pop ballad closing track to wrap up the mini album. It's not bad, it's actually nice, and I appreciate that it's more upbeat than some closing ballads, but it didn't feel super special or unique to me personally. It did its job in ending the album on a reflective note, but it wasn't a standout moment compared to earlier tracks. So overall, my ranking goes like this. Number 1, 404, New Era. Number 2, Underdogs. Number 3, Dizzy. Number 4, DELULU. Number 5, Mongyang. And number 6, To Me, From Me. And if I average all my ratings together, this mini album lands at about a 7.6 out of 10 overall, which is honestly pretty solid. Honestly, even though I have my favorites, I think the album works best when you listen to it from start to finish because the vibe is very cohesive, very dreamy, and very intentional. That's something that I really respect about KiiKiii. They commit to their ideas fully and don't seem to be afraid to be weird or experimental, even when it might not appeal to everyone. Art should take risks sometimes, and I feel like this comeback shows growth from their debut era, which had strong concepts but sometimes felt mismatched musically. This mini album feels more focused, more refined, and more confident in its identity. I think that's why it's resonating more with listeners because you can feel the intention behind every choice, whether it's the textures, the beats, the vocal styles, or the storytelling. I think KiiKiii are slowly building a foundation that could make them one of the more interesting groups in this generation if they keep pushing themselves creatively. Honestly, I'm excited to see where they go next because this feels like the start of something bigger for them. And that's always fun to witness as a fan, or even just as a casual listener who enjoys seeing artists evolve and find their voice over time. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the DELULU Pack mini album. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you've made it to the end, I want you to comment the phrase New Era Unlocked so I know you stayed until the end and you're a real one. And before you go, please subscribe, like, and comment because it really helps the channel grow. Again, if you're watching on mobile, don't forget to hype my video. Swipe left on the comment preview carousel or tap the 3 dots until you see the hype option, then tap hype. It seriously helps so much, and I appreciate every single one of you for supporting me and hanging out with me today. Let me know your favorite songs, your rankings, and your thoughts on KiiKii's direction because I love reading your comments and talking with you all. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, besties!